Welcome everyone. Here it is, right? We're just gonna give a couple, like 30 seconds or so. I can see that people are still kind of trickling in. Um, so give it a sec and then we'll get going here, okay? Oh my goodness. Can you emit for me or no? All right, technical difficulties. So, hi everyone, welcome. My name is Michelle White, and I am the creative project manager over here at Reach. So I got chosen to be the host today. I didn't sign up for it, but I got chosen for it. And this morning I was like, all right, like here I am. I'm at this host. Like I got to have a cool intro, like a countdown, maybe some music, like fireworks. And then I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, all right, 11:58, 11:59, 12 o'clock. And I just choked. I was like, all right, I'm just going to share my screen. Here we go. So anyways, you guys, we are super excited to have everyone here. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to sort of carve out and be with us. Um, Within this, though, with every live webinar, we have rules, of course, and I know rules. But here's sort of the outline or how this is going to sort of flow. So first of all, everyone is muted as a default. Um, Basically, each section is about 10 minutes long, and we went ahead and just pre-recorded these videos. The reason we did it, of course, is that we understand that like not everyone can make this time, right? And so we want to make sure that people can kind of go back and sort of view it. We are also recording this live as well, so we'll also share that for, again, any of the members that couldn't make it. All of our videos, of course, too, will be on the website. In addition to this, so what will happen, you guys, is we'll watch the video together. Most videos are about 7-8 minutes. And then after that, the particular spokesperson who talked in that video will be live with me. And that's where I'll sort of answer those questions. In addition to all this, as we sort of roll together with this, if questions come up, definitely use the chat in Teams to sort of input those in. At the very, very end, that is where we're going to sort of open it up, where Kirsten, Nate, Darren, and of course myself are all going to be live, and we'll just answer those questions. We might go over a little bit of time. So again, if you have to sign off, I totally get it. And then we will share this recording as well. So first video, of course, is with our CEO, Darren Rosinski. So really this topic or this sort of video is he's really going to talk about the business strategies. He does a good job sort of explaining where Reach started, where Reach is now, and of course, where Reach is going. So I don't want to give all, everything that he says out in the open. It's like a movie where someone's like, yeah, you know what, Johnny, yeah, the main character, he died. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to let Darren sort of speak for himself. So start off with our first video, and then after that, we'll do a little bit of Q&A.
Hi, my name is Darren Morsinski, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Reach Media Network, and we're excited to have you here today for our first official live webinar. And guess what? It only took us 17 years to put this thing together, so let's get started. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, I get the privilege today to talk to you guys about our current business strategies, and I couldn't be more excited about them. We're actually going to talk about them in 3 sections. 1, the 17-year Reach journey in 90 seconds or less. That's going to be a challenge. What did we learn in the last 7 years in the software business, and where are we going? And then really talking about 2022 and beyond. Really exciting stuff, so let's dive in. All right, the 17-year Reach journey in 90 seconds or less. Well, if you think about it, in 2005 to 2008, we were really in startup 1.0, as we like to call it around here, which really focused on our advertising supported business model. And that really meant we gave the hardware, software, really everything to our partners, and we'd try and go out and sell ads on them to really support the business model. That was pretty common at the time, but it really sort of weeded out in 2008 to 2010. And those are really our stay alive years. With the recession, I think everybody kind of remembers how brutal that was. And fortunately, we were able to make it through. In 2011 to 2013, we really focused on reevaluating the business model. What I mean by that is we started to move from our ad-based supported model to our software only. And that was really driven by our clients saying, hey, we really love your software, but we don't want the ads, or The locations weren't great for us, so we really started pivoting, really sort of rethinking about the business model. And that's really when 2014 to 2017 happened. And that was what we like to call Startup 2.0. And it was just kind of funny, almost 8 years or 10 years into the business, we're switching and sort of pivoting, but we pivoted and really focused on our business model on 100% trying to build out our software business. Really exciting stuff, a lot of opportunities. We added a lot of partners, but we're really kind of in that startup mode of learning what our clients needed and really trying to meet their needs. 2018 to 2021, we call it steady growth, but uncertain times. I won't dive too much into COVID because we know how that wreaked havoc on a lot of businesses, but for the most part, we were really able to get through it and really grow as a company. And we learned a lot of things in that time as well, which really leads us to 2022, which is scale with purpose. And that's really what we're talking about here today. So what did we learn in the last 7 years and where are we going? Well, the customer and their success is at our core of our business. And we try exceptionally hard as a company to please our clients. And if I had to describe Reach, which I've been asked in the past, like how do you describe Reach in 3 words? Always, we try harder. And that's actually a slogan that was taken from Avis Car Rental years and years and years ago. But at the core, that's really the way I think about the company and really the culture here. We really try and please our clients. So on one hand, it's a wonderful quality to be that focused on your client success. But on the other, it can lead you down kind of a different path where you start to do things that are more custom projects, one-offs, building capabilities that aren't core and don't really fit into your strategy. And that's because you're sort of listening to your clients, you're trying to please them, trying to build new things, you're trying to add capabilities, but at the same time, they may not fit into your overall strategy. And that's kind of what happened to us in that 2017 to 2021. So it was really then I'd realized, and it's just sort of coming, so it wasn't just happening in 2021, but I essentially realized that in order to scale and really grow the business, the way our entire leadership team was talking about and encouraging me and sort of envisioned, we actually needed to take a look in the mirror and improve our overall processes and be more purposeful in our approach and really understand where our clients, who are at the center of our world, want to take us and what they need, and can we build the right solutions for them. 22 and beyond, really exciting stuff. And so what I really want to talk to you today about is what are we tactically doing to improve Reach? So there's really 3 components. 1 is simplify, 2 is fix and stabilize, and 3 is be purposeful and educate. So simplify, tactically speaking, we hired a UX UI agency to really help us think about our content management system, which actually spun into a much larger initiative that's coming this fall or winter. Nate's going to dive into that in a little bit, which is really exciting stuff. We changed the development process to better define what problems we solve. So rather than thinking about what customers need, we're actually trying to think about what problems we're solving for them and actually getting their feedback along the way. So that's a real shift for us, and I'm excited that it's happening. Fix and stabilize. So we actually revisited, and sometimes looking in the mirror, I get it, but we actually revisited our existing projects and applications that were about 80 to 90%, maybe 75, where they function and they made most stuff work, but at the end of the day, we really wanted to get to 100%, so we solved the problem for every customer. And it's not sort of half working or 3/4, you got to do this or you got to do that. We want everything to work as it should. A couple of examples, and just being completely transparent, we need to improve our proof of play, which we've been working on, RS-232 commands. There's just a series of different things as we're doing our overall evaluation to make sure we get those to be 100%. Likewise, we also change our process regarding releases, testing, bug escalation, communication. There's just a lot of things we're doing internally that's going to make things a lot easier for not only our clients, but even us internally as we try and grow. And this is really my favorite one. It's really be purposeful and educate. So we want to make sure that our applications are meeting your needs. We've tried to improve our communication with our clients. We're creating more tools for our clients to learn and engage. And really within the life cycle as well, we're actually putting clients' feedback earlier into the process to make sure we are heading the mark. Or if we're not, we need to change course and try something else. Likewise, and you guys may have seen this as well, we've added customer satisfaction surveys. So in any engagement, install coordinators, support, account managers, anytime we're engaging with customers, we want to do surveys to understand any feedback, to understand their experience, and are we actually answering their questions and solving their problems. So really exciting stuff happening for 2022 and beyond.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Darren, for that. Darren should be kind of coming live here. There he is.
Absolutely.
All right, awesome.
I just realized how many times I say really exciting stuff. So I'm obviously very excited about it.
Yeah, nerves come into play whenever you're doing a video, but well, the first thing I would say is it's kind of weird. So you did this video about, I think 2 weeks ago, and then now here you are live, and it seems like you actually have more gray hair.
I do.
Oh. Just kidding.
That's what when employees don't do their job, that's what happens, Michelle.
I was thinking kids, but that's
Yeah,
cool.
right. You
All
also
right.
mentioned that you're going to kill off the lead character to start the whole thing, by the way.
I did. I didn't want to ruin, any of the juicy stuff that you had to say. So, all right. So first question here for you, Darren, is where do you see digital signage going in the future?
Well, I mean, there's a couple things going on with digital signage. One is the biggest evolution is really going to be connecting people outside of the office, essentially, because they're not going to the office in the traditional sense. So we need to think about how we actually meet people and connect with them, not only via the screens, of course, which is 80% of it, but we're talking about doing more things with embedding our signage into websites or using QR codes so people can take the signage with them and really engage on their own terms. And that's kind of one of the biggest things when you think about just how ubiquitous things are now, and you just want to get the content. We want to make it easy for clients to publish to multiple engines, if they will. We want them to be able to publish to their teams or their conference room devices like Immersive. Anyway, we can sort of create that content and then publish it out, along with integrating sort of their different tools in the back end to make one easy process. I really think that's where signage is going overall, and we want to be on the forefront of it as well.
Second question I have, and unfortunately, we're just trying to move it along. So
Sure.
we get one more question, and then we'll see you at the end. But how has the staffing changed as the company has sort of evolved?
Yeah, no, it's actually been really interesting, really exciting. I'm so thankful for the team that we have. We've probably added, I think, maybe 10 new team members in the last year across different skill sets. One nice thing for the dev team, we've added sort of some unique skill sets that we didn't have before. That's been awesome, and they're doing a great job. All of our client support facing teams, account management, install, support, customer support, they've all been growing. They've all doing a great job. We just continue to expand those. And as I kind of mentioned in the video, we're also trying to improve our processes along the way. So when the teams come in now, they're a little more structured on how they do things, and that we're repeating the process to support our clients. And the other thing, just to kind of keep in mind, and I'm sort of throwing a plug out there for ourselves, we do have 7 open positions available across those, account management, support, any of those IT. We're just a growing company. We'd love to get great talent in here. Especially, as we sort of transition as many companies have with the hybrid model and sort of thinking through that as well. So any great talent, it's a great company to work for, and we just continue to evolve. The other thing I would say, just on the staffing thing, we really do a good job of trying to challenge ourselves and to continue to evolve. And we talked about customer feedback, but really just grow as not only with our clients, but as a company as well. So the staffing's been awesome. We continue to grow, and we're excited about who we have on the team.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for your time. So we're actually going to jump into our second section here, which is going to be with Nate Davis. So Nate Davis is our CTO. And for anyone who doesn't know what CTO means, it's Chief Technology Officer. Whew, he's going to give me some crap for that one. But anyways, Nate has, a lot of responsibilities, and really his job is to help sort of, implement and sort of manage new technology. So we're taking the software from here and sort of really growing it. And so in his video, we're going to talk about the roadmap of 2022.
Hi, I'm Nathan Davis, Chief Technology Officer here at Reach. Today, I'll be sharing with you our technology highlights and roadmap for 2022 and 2023. This year, the tech team has been focused on 4 broad categories of work, including operational excellence, usability and user experience, enterprise functionality, and tech modernization. In 2022, Reach has and continues to invest time and resources to improve the reliability, scalability, security, and performance of the platform. Key initiatives include shifting to cloud-native solutions, rebuilding the security framework of the system, and improving observability of the system. As a company, we have shifted towards cloud-native solutions such as Application Gateway, Azure Database for MySQL, Azure Cache for Redis, Service Bus, and SignalR. By adopting cloud-native solutions, Reach can ensure enterprise-grade service delivery while focusing on our line of business efforts. We have devoted time to rebuilding the underlying security framework which powers the access control measures in the system. Improvements to the system are aimed at improving system security, increasing performance, and improving scalability. The new security framework also lays the foundation for Reach to build new security features in the future. An essential part of operational excellence is the ability to understand what is happening in the environment in real time. In 2022, we will be adding additional error tracing, performance tracking, logging, and telemetry capabilities to the system to gain deeper operational insight. Reach understands just how critical a positive user experience is to the success of our clients. We've restructured our business processes from feature ideation to design and research to product delivery by placing our users at the center of our focus. To further these efforts, I am pleased to announce the formation of the Reach Beta Advisory Group. This group will have access to pre-release alpha and beta stage product designs, as well as the opportunity to provide feedback. If you're interested in joining, please email beta@reachmedianetwork.com. Reach will be adding and improving upon several enterprise features. These include proof of play reporting, firmware standardization, RS-232, and single sign-on. We are revamping the proof of play reporting functionality. The new functionality prioritizes scalability and reliability. The mechanism will also move towards a month's end and on-demand batch processing model. Security and reliability of the system is paramount to our client success. We're implementing new technology and processes to ensure player firmware is up to date and standardized across the entire network. We are seeing an increased interest in the ability to control the power, volume, and input selection of the display unit the player is attached to. To address these needs, we are dedicating resources to improving the user experience of our RS-232 management offering. Single sign-on is an important security feature for many companies. We will be building a next-generation single sign-on portal allowing for easier onboarding, simplified management, and implementation of new functionality. Reach is committed to continually building a better product offering for our clients. An important part of these efforts are ensuring that we evolve with modern technologies. We will be focusing on 3 key initiatives to modernize our tech stack, including a move to serverless technologies, migrating server-side and client-side code to TypeScript, and replatforming the content management system. We have shifted our architectural standards away from virtual machine workloads to containerization, cloud-managed service offerings, and function-as-a-service platforms. This move increases business agility, improves uptime, and enables faster dynamic scaling. The tech team is in the process of migrating our code bases to TypeScript. This includes a migration from JavaScript to TypeScript in our client-side code, as well as a migration from PHP to TypeScript on the server side. These migrations will enable us to consolidate technical breadth within the Reach ecosystem, accelerate our code quality initiatives, and leverage the power of Node.js. I am pleased to announce that Reach has embarked on a large-scale replatforming effort of the content management system. In 2022 and 2023, we will be rewriting CMS using the front-end UI library React. The rewrite will focus on modernizing to React, as well as a light redesign of the user interface. By adopting React, Reach will be able to deliver a delightful user experience. Please keep an eye out for more communication about the CMS rewrite in the coming months. Thank you for tuning in to the Reach 2022 Tech Roundup. We're looking forward to an exciting year, continuing to build technology solutions that enable your organization.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Nate, for that. I think probably the biggest thing that we're all sort of kind of curious about is really the CMS rewrite. It's a big project to take on. Can you sort of talk a little bit like why are we doing this? You know, what's sort of the benefits of it? And while you do that, I'm actually going to share with everyone really some rough mock-ups of what this UI and the CMS is going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely. And great question. Really, the CMS rewrite had 2 primary motivations. One is that any tech company really needs to continuously modernize their technology offering. The current CMS platform is written in AngularJS, which is an aging framework, and we'll be replatforming to React, which is a modern library and also has a more vibrant community sort of surrounding it. The second component and motivation behind rewriting CMS is to improve the user experience. We sort of as a company recognize that a frictionless user experience is really paramount to the success of our clients. So in that, in that vein, we're really looking to simplify the system and make that user, the user interface much more intuitive. In order to do that, we're going to be soliciting end user feedback during the design process, as well as forming that beta advisory group so we can get feedback prior to launch to make sure we're really accounting for and accommodating all the different unique user workflows that people are doing in our system on a daily basis.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And then my last and final question for you as well is, so we know you love security. It's usually a joke kind of internally that we joke with Nate about him and his security. Can you talk a little bit more about the major security improvements that we're sort of making within Reach?
Yes, yeah, and yep, I'm definitely a security nut, and I'm sure everyone here internally at Reach is probably sick of hearing me, evangelize security day in and day out. So, 7 years ago when we started building this platform, the Reach Content Management System, we didn't really have a good idea at the time what the future use cases might be for the platform, sort of in its infancy, if you will. So at the time, we built a generalized security platform that was really designed to enable us to accommodate kind of anything known or unknown to the future. As time went on, it became apparent that that generalized security platform really needed to be focused in a lot more to allow us, to have better performance and better scalability of the platform. So we embarked on a rewrite of the security platform, sort of with those, goals in mind. Also, this new security platform lays the foundation to allow us to implement new security models and functionality sort of as we go forward. So far, we hope that the migration of the security platform, which is well underway, has been fairly transparent to our end users. So really, it's kind of more of the behind the scenes work, to build a platform that allows us to deliver new, functionality and features from a security perspective in the future.
Makes complete sense. And I'm actually going to throw you one more question.
Sure.
Yeah. So the last question I have for you is, you talked about client feedback, right? The users are really what we're wanting to listen to. They're really driving the way we sort of make these changes to the CMS. Obviously, that's a big focus for us in 2022 here. So what are some factors that we're using to sort of gain that knowledge, right, from our clients?
Yeah, absolutely. A great question. So we've really redesigned the way that we're writing code, the way that we're building features for the platform. To do so, we've created an internal user research group. So this is a team who's tasked with, and the mission of is to understand our users' needs, all the way from the beginning of the development, from research and planning through development through post delivery, sort of post execution research and whatnot, to ensure we're really solving the problems of our clients. Some of the tools we're using to do that is we've collected user personas. So these are kind of caricaturized, archetypes of users who are in our system. So front desk staff at a small fitness, all the way up to organizational content manager at a multinational corporation, things of this nature. By collecting these user personas, it allows us to make sure that we're accounting for all the different workflows as we're building new features in the platform. Additionally, as we already announced, we've formed the beta advisory group. So if you're interested in joining that group, please send us an email. It's beta@reachmedianetwork.com. Saw a couple of messages pop up in chat as well. So we'll make sure we gather folks who are interested in joining that group. By joining that group, you're going to have the opportunity to provide us with some feedback, prior to launch, and so we can ensure that we can, really understand your use cases and make sure we're solving problems. Lastly, we're also going to be implementing some onboarding tools into our platform. So we're looking at products like Pendo, which allow us to build onboarding workflows into the platform itself. This allows us to deliver onboarding and training sort of in band in the platform, which should really hopefully help users understand our system a little bit better.
Awesome. Thank you for that, by the way. So we're going to make a little pivot here. We're going to go into our third section or third topic, which is Kirsten Gibson. She is our EVP Sales and Marketing. She's a very long title there. I'm glad I got it right. I messed up on Nate's, but I nailed Kirsten's. Just like Nate, Kirsten wears a lot of different hats, has a lot of different responsibilities, of course. Within her role, of course, she is the lead in sort of our sales department, but also does help with creating new technologies and again, implying and really trying to find marketing techniques to grow, right? So people can continue to hear about Reach and all these things that we have to offer. So her video, which I think is probably the exciting one, has to do with use cases. So we're going to go ahead and switch to her video, sorry. And she's going to talk about, apps and integrations, how to expand. She's really going to show you guys some really cool things of, what you can do within just your digital signage.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to your next session, Trending Digital Signage Use Cases for Any Industry. First, we'll be talking about the pilot lobby display. Most commonly, just customer-facing displays, regardless of which industry you may be in. Phase 2 is the building expansion use cases. So whether that's customer-facing or employee-facing displays, in different ways you can utilize digital signage. Third, being the multi-location use case, and really expanding on the workflows and how easy it is to share content regardless of the use case that you might be utilizing digital signage displays for. Let's begin. In this first section, we're going to quickly review just some common lobby use case examples within some of our most popular industries, baseline concepts with common content, apps, and integrations we see out there, and just walk you through an example scenario of a pilot lobby display, how that looks within the software, and really how end users go to publish that day-to-day content. So whether that is a corporate lobby display welcoming visitors, healthcare clinics displaying wait times and important safety reminders, university welcome centers welcoming students and staff back on campus, or fitness and rec centers just displaying upcoming classes that may be going on, and again, promotional items. Some of our most common content and apps that we see out there for lobby displays include welcome messaging by utilizing our playlist application and media library application to easily either upload content or create content right on our system or even through Canva. Announcements and then upcoming events. Upcoming events can be pulling from anything such as Google Calendar, Microsoft Outlook, or a variety of other third-party calendar scheduling softwares. Second, news and entertainment content, especially if it's in a waiting area, ensuring that your audience is seeing those most important messages out there, or simply engaging with your audience through social media, whether that's utilizing hashtags or displaying your latest posts. Lastly, everybody loves knowing what's going on with the weather, what's upcoming for the next few hours, or how the traffic's looking before they leave the building. There's a lot of different ways you can utilize our apps and content that are available through the software, but this is what we see most commonly through the lobby display use cases throughout any type of industry out there. Next, we'll dive into phase 2, the building expansion. This is probably one of my favorite topics to talk to clients about that might have piloted a, say, lobby display and looking for other ways to utilize, say, blank screens around their building or other ways to utilize the software for different solution types and examples and all be able to be managed through one central platform. First, we'll quickly go over some common use case examples that we'll see within that building expansion. Second, just some baseline concepts of the ease of scalability and again, centrally managing that content from a day-to-day use and being able to push down that content to multiple different types of displays. And third, really going back to our pilot display example and how that looks within the CMS of, say, adding on internal communication displays, say, for your break room. So going in actually to the first example that we see most commonly with our clients is just adding on, say, production board displays or, say, break room displays. Really communicating to employees or displaying KPI information such as data from PowerPoint, your SharePoint, anything that you can automate in that those key performance indicators for your audience to constantly be viewing. Secondly would be menu board displays, whether that's in employee cafeteria, whether it's a customer-facing cafeteria or restaurant that you may have in your building, or you can simply use menu boards for other things such as rotating promotions, while still providing pricing information or item information available to your audience. Third, meeting room displays are very common, whether that is within an office building, whether that's in a fitness facility, whether that's in a university with classrooms. Those meeting room displays can easily integrate in current calendar information that you might have on your digital lobby display or say in your employee break rooms. So there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize digital signage and repurpose content that may already exist within your account or simply add on to your account and with the ability to share certain content such as calendar displays into your digital signage. And lastly, video walls. Video walls have become more and more popular with our clients and really being able to display those full screen, say videos and static content on multiple displays at any given time. Lastly, a common use case that we do see across all of our industries are directory and wayfinding, especially when it's a larger building. You have customers and guests or even students and staff coming back for the fall semester, really adding in that directional wayfinding and directory so they can easily find where they're going or even take it with them by scanning a QR code. So before diving into some of the most common apps and integrations used for, say, our break room expansion example, just going to dive into the back end here real quick and just show you the ease of use and scalability as you add on, say, these different solutions. In this example, we have a client that has added now 3 displays. They have 1 customer-facing display, which is their lobby display, and 2 break room displays. 1 break room display being for your general employee communications and rotating content, and 1 displaying their KPI metrics for their employees to view. In terms of adding on players, once your account's really set up over that pilot implementation, it's a matter of just creating layouts and assigning them to the certain players. Again, our team over at Reach will help build these out for you. From there, it's as easy as just adding in the playlists needed to those certain displays and easily being able to share it to those additional 3 displays. So whether you're uploading your own content, creating content in our system, or simply adding videos, it's going to be the same exact workflow as you're using with that lobby display. Now that you can see how easy it is to share content on multiple displays, let's go over just some of the common content apps and integrations that we do see within break room displays and internal employee-facing displays. First being company goals, metrics, and KPIs. Whether you're creating this right on the Reach, within your Reach CMS, or simply pulling it in from a third-party source like Power BI or SharePoint. We can easily automate that information right into your displays, again, avoiding duplicate work. Second, employee recognition and engagement. Again, kind of going back to that lobby display when we were talking about social media, everybody loves seeing themselves on the screen. It's really cool, especially from an engagement standpoint, if you are big into social media, really having your employees say hashtag for a certain event, really getting them increased awareness on the screens. And employee recognition, highlighting birthdays, anniversaries, maybe goals that were accomplished and went above and beyond. There are a variety of different ways that you can really recognize employees, whether that's through our calendar application or just a simple playlist of rotating content. Lastly, using those break room displays to publish, say, important reminders and deadlines for your employees to see so they never forget. Again, using that calendar application or playlist application are easy ways to quickly get that information out to your employees. Third and final phase we'll talk about is the multi-location deployment. Now here, so say you have your building, you have multiple use cases, so customer-facing displays, internal-facing displays, maybe you've added some menu boards, directories, video walls. Now you want to start implementing this company-wide, whether that might be at plant locations or other office building or regional locations. But you still want that centrally managed CMS. Very easy to do. All we'll be doing is adding on different facilities and adding them to more of, say, an admin master account. This way, corporate communications can still push content down, whether that's customer-facing or employee-facing displays, throughout the entire corporate footprint. Secondly, you'd be able to have those local level users that can easily push content down to the screens only at their location, or say only a couple screens within that location. Our CMS does provide that flexibility to have multiple different workflows, and you have unlimited number of users with Reach. One thing we've learned over time is that about 60% of our clients will expand within 3 to 6 months. Why we wanted to share these use cases is with these expansions, it doesn't always have to be the same information, just depending on where those screens are located within your building. Our team is more than happy to review these with you and different solution types we have available and share more examples with you. Appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you, Kirsten, for that. So it's pretty funny, actually, when Kirsten came in this morning, I was like, hey, nice color shirt, she called me, I called her, I was like, hey girl, like, what are you gonna wear today? We were both like, oh, you look good in blue. So definitely was not planned at all, but I thought it was pretty funny that you and I were matching. So we can just say that, like, really cool, smart, intelligent people wear blue, right? Like, talk us up a little bit. So
Gotta bring it home.
yeah, exactly. So great video, by the way. I always love seeing examples that, our team sort of helps with clients. One of the questions I have for you, though, is how easy is it to sort of distinguish user permissions as you add and sort of expand?
Yeah, so as our existing customers, you guys know, adding users, it's very easy to enable and disable certain applications, but really taking it next step further and getting more granular in it. So if you do have, say, use cases, multiple use cases, employee facing and customer facing, say under one account, but you do have different user groups managing that, it is very easy to go in a next step further on the side of our CMS. And actually, there's a little button if you hover over to click and then establish who has access to which playlist. I'd say that's probably the most common. And then there's security properties within the playlist application that you can do that. But it's not only just the playlist application. All of our applications have these granular settings. So if you do want to learn more about that, we can definitely connect you with your account manager to show you. Otherwise, your sales rep as well.
Awesome. Thank you. I got one more for you. So it seems like more and more third-party integrations are part of these use cases. Can you sort of capitalize or tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so as Darren kind of mentioned at the beginning of kind of at the start, integrations has been something that we've built the software off since day one. They've become, we've done a lot of one-offs, custom integrations, and so forth. And now what we're doing is really taking a larger lens on kind of how many clients are really asking for this and really building in a integration that's just easily authenticatable through our system. So again, it's only taking a few clicks to pull in your information. So again, like Power BI, which we showed, it's authenticating your account and pulling in those reports and dashboards. Social media, which I know it's been out there for a while, but again, you're authenticating through your accounts, pulling in those posts. More and more integrations are going that way, depending on kind of the need from our clients. So as we've all mentioned, we really rely on your feedback, and we really appreciate, the feedback we're getting in the chat as well. But please feel free to send it over to the marketing@reachmedianetwork.com email, and we'll definitely take that into account.
Awesome. Thank you. So we'll do a pivot then to our last and final video, which is your spokesperson's like really awesome, really cool, just like probably the host of today's show. Oh, me. Okay. No, I'm kidding. So the last video is of me, of course. It is tips and tricks. Well, not of me, but of tips and tricks. So I could have taken this in a lot of different directions, but the last couple months, I really keep hearing this same thing over and over, the same pain point over and over. And I was like, okay, time out. Let's do a video on this to sort of clear the air. And so again, I don't want to spoil my own video here, but we'll go ahead and jump into this. And then again, after that, we'll sort of do a little recap, and then we're going to open up the floor for a live Q&A session. So. Hey everyone, welcome to your useful tips and tricks. My name is Michelle White. Today, we're going to break this up into two sections. The first part is we're going to talk about the media library and the playlist. I understand there's sort of some mixed communication going on. You know, do I start in the media library? Do I start in the playlist? You know, what's the purpose of these two? So we're just going to take a time out and we're going to clear the air. The second part of this is talking about our announcement editor. Within there, we have what we call a text tool. And today we're just going to show you some, again, tips and tricks on how to sort of use that. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so when it comes to workflow, right, that's really important because you don't want to be in the system for a long period of time. And knowing if you start in the media library or the playlist, right, that can really make a big difference. So if you're creating content using a different software, and nowadays there's a million different softwares out there, but some of the popular ones, of course, you know, PowerPoint is always going to be a popular option. Canva, I know, Adobe, of course, if you're working with any designers. If people are sending you the content and your job is essentially just to upload and sort of publish it, or again, if you're using Canva to create the content, maybe then you export it, or PowerPoint, again, you use PowerPoint, you're exporting it. Essentially, you're going to start in the playlist. And what you'll do is you'll select one, or again, multiple playlists, and you'll hit the button that says add content. And then here is where you're literally just going to drag and drop. So again, you don't need to be in the media library if I sort of just explained a scenario that you're dealing with. Even in this Modo, you can even add YouTube clips or Vimeo or Capterra. So again, you just literally drag and drop your assets, or again, even your video files within this sort of Modo. Now, other situation or other scenario, of course, is what if you are using our announcement tool? Again, our announcement tool is held in the media library. If that's the case, then yes, you do need to start in the media library. You need to create your announcement, and then you'll go to the playlist to essentially publish it. Also, too, on this Canva part, this is just going to be a preference thing, of course, but some people, they like to, you know, go into Canva and they'll just create all their slides. I mean, sometimes they might carve out a couple hours and they'll just kind of crank out those slides. And then, as I explained, they'll export them and then upload them into the Reach system. Some people, they like to just create the Canva designs when they're in the Reach system. And essentially, that's exactly what this is going to do. It's going to open up a Modo. It allows you to create the slide. You're still in the Reach system, but obviously you're using the Canva tools. And then what's nice is that when you are done creating that slide, you essentially just hit save and it gets stored in the media library. There's no wrong here, by the way, on which direction you go. I think it really just comes down to, you know, what works for you. Now, the media library, what this is built, or what the purpose of this, it's really like a cloud-based library. I mean, everything that you upload into the playlist is going to be stored here. When you remove items from the playlist, you're actually not removing it from the media library. Now, if you want to delete this asset forever, this is where then you would come, right? And there's a million ways to sort of find the asset and search for it. But again, you don't have to delete it from the media library. I think, again, a little bit of mixed communication. Some people feel like they need to come in here and they need to clean it all up. That's actually not, you know, that's actually not true. I mean, you don't have to do that. We definitely have people out there who have thousands and thousands of assets, and they just keep uploading. And again, that's totally fine. I mean, we don't put like a storage space or anything on that. So again, it's just kind of comes down to what works for you. So that's the difference of workflow, and hopefully that kind of clears the air for a lot of you. So let's dig into our second section here. All right, so let's jump into the text box here. So as I select this box, as you can see, or this button, I should say, I'm kind of being brought into this first layer. The first layer really just allows you to essentially, you know, locate where is this text going. As you can see too, I can go from the top or the bottom or the corner. I can really adjust, again, the height, the width of, you know, how much text I may or may not need. Now, to get into that second mode, right, that second layer, the editing mode, there's really two ways to do it. The way that works for me, and again, it doesn't mean that's going to work for you, but the way that works for me is to simply come in here and just double click. Once I double click, right, I can come in here and I can just start typing away. The other way is to simply hit the button that says edit text, which again is going to bring you into that second layer. And once again, you can come in here and start typing the content that you need. Now, if you need to close out of here completely, like you just need to get out of the text tool, you're going to, move on, you're going to add an image or shape. The best way to do this, you guys, is to click on the canvas itself. You can see it's completely got me out of here. Everything is obviously bold, it's color. So it's completely removed me from the text to itself. Now there is another way, of course. So if I double click in here, and let's just say I'm typing away, right? And just gonna keep typing here. And I say, oh, you know what? I want to make this text box smaller. I want it just the size now. Now that I've got my text in here, I really just kind of want to move the box itself. The best way to do that is to hit the button that says stop editing. And that's going to, again, bring you into that first layer, that first mode, which then allows me to make my adjustments. So again, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done with my text here. I know I'm going to stylize it, but I kind of really just want it in this corner. All right, so let's kind of dig into stylizing here. So keep in mind, you can stylize each line, like can be its own unique sort of color. You can even have like a certain character be, something different. So we really give you that flexibility to, again, have that customization on how you want your text to look. One thing I just want to show you is, let's just say I do text 3 here. We'll just do kind of like a purplish blue. Now, it doesn't matter if I hit enter, and it doesn't matter if I hit shift enter, okay? They're both going to respond the same way. But what if I hit over here, you can see, right? Line 4 is now carrying the same styles as line 3. And that is built in. That is supposed to happen. Now, if for whatever reason you wanted this to be, let's just say this red, right? Of course, you can select it, right? You can go into your color, but notice that we don't have like a color picker, right? I can't go and essentially get the exact red. So my tip to you guys, if you are dealing with situations like this, is select, again, the color you want, come into the color here, and simply just copy this. Now, again, you can highlight it. You can do the old school way where you hit copy. Otherwise, I'm on a Windows, it's Control-C, that can copy as well. Not top of my head, not too sure what it is for a Mac, but again, you can copy it here. And then again, what you do is you just select this line, you come in here, kind of clear this out, and Control-V to paste, and then that will get me the exact color that is in line 1. So again, just kind of know that we don't have that color picker, but there are sort of ways and, again, tips and tricks to kind of, get the styling 100% how you want it. So that's what I wanted to cover today, you guys. I appreciate your time. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks again for watching this. All right, so don't worry, I won't answer myself or ask myself questions. That would be a little weird. But as Nate mentioned earlier, right, we really are taking that step back, of course, and putting you guys the center of our focus. And when it comes to sort of workflow is very, very important, right? You guys all have a million things to do. Last thing you want to do is be in a system, all day and just start fighting with it. In the end, we're all looking to accomplish the same thing, right? We're looking to communicate, we're looking to maintain, manage, and digital signage really in a seamless way. Key things to take away from our sort of live webinar today is Reach has hired a UI and a UX agency to help with that, again, that workflow and sort of that seamless usability. Secondly, we're providing better tools to gain that client feedback. Again, as Nate said in his in sort of his conversation, we've got personas, we're doing beta partners, we're emailing clients too, as far as like, hey, like, how do you use this functionality? Explain this to me. So we're really trying to just hear you guys. Also, we're doing a better job to finding our problems, right? As sort of Darren talked about, and really cleaning up our loose ends here. As Kirsten said, we're doing a better job sort of understanding, different apps, integrations, and then bringing them into the system. We're trying to make them look really good. So that way people in your audience are like, oh, wow, look at that. That looks awesome. If you're looking to expand more or you want to add more, as Kirsten said in her video, we have a lot of different ways to sort of help you and sort of guide you through that process. And then the last and final thing too is workflow, as I mentioned, is maybe starting in that playlist, right? I think a lot of clients that I've talked to is they start in the media library and then they realize there's just a lot of clicks that they have to do to get to the playlist. Try changing the workflow, start in the playlist and just see if that sort of helps you. So with that being said, you guys, we're gonna now open it up to the live comments. I can see that everyone sort of has made some chats, which are great. So Nate, Kirsten, and Darren, you can come on. And Tristan, you feel like you can share your camera, or she's just gonna basically be the one that sort of dishes out these questions. The
Hey,
one thing
Michelle,
I do.
one
Oh,
thing
go
real
ahead.
fast. I was also wearing blue, but I didn't quite get the compliments that you and Kirsten were giving each other. So I got a little hurtful. No big deal. I'm just letting you know
Yeah.
I too am wearing blue.
Well, I don't know if you heard me. I said like really like, good looking and like really educational people like
I
wear
get
blue.
it.
So
I get it.
I don't know if you missed that, but
No, it makes total sense. Appreciate it.
Tristan, I'm going to sort of hand the floor over to you.
Yeah, so there were kind of a handful of questions that came in throughout the webinar. So I'm going to just kind of start at the top and then you guys can kind of run robin and grab them however you want to. But the first one, which I'm sure is one that many people were thinking, is what is the timeline of that CMS rewrite?
Yeah, I'd be happy to field that one. So really, we just got started here in the last month or so with sort of boots on the ground rewrite of the CMS. As such, we don't have a firm timeline. It's a massive undertaking, of course. So we'll be coming out with some more information here in the next 30 to 60 days or so. Yeah, so look for that information here coming up.
Yeah, the other thing I would just add to that is we are trying to build a product that we can get out there. So just on just sort of the process, and Nate is we're sort of explaining this. We're not trying to build a product that is completely done at the end and we say, wham, here it goes. What we're going to be doing is more of an iterative process too, where we have sort of soft releases of it, get client feedback and sort of along the way. So it's not going to be at one day, it may be like a large, official launch, but it's really going to be more iterative. And as you want to, and I know that someone had mentioned about being part of the group, which is great. That will give you a deeper lens into not only the timing of it, but then the functionality we're building into it. So we will update and communicate timelines as much as we can. We're still defining some of the scope as well and just what we want to include and not include. But we're really excited about it, as Nate mentioned, and it's going to be a big undertaking. And it's really sort of putting us in what we feel is the next evolution of our CMS.
Awesome. Then there was also a question about plans to integrate with Building Link. It sounds like it's maybe for apartment, condo, HOAs.
Yeah, so on the process for any of our integrations is we first find out the demand of who's asking and what the request is, and we have a process internally that we can do that. So I think it was Todd. Feel free to ping your account manager. The account manager can reach out to you as well. Just get more data kind of actually I don't think I've heard of Building Link, but just get more information about it, kind of fits where it might fit within our timeline, how many other clients are asking for it specifically in the space. So that would be the next best step. And then we scope them internally. We might come back and say, hey, it's just not in scope right now, or hey, that's a great idea. We have 10 other clients asking as well. That's kind of our process internal.
Awesome. Yeah. So Todd, someone will be reaching out to, I'm sure here, maybe even today. So the next one is which platforms, iOS, Android, etc., will offer the Reach app for download. Sounds like maybe they were having hardware concerns before. So.
Yeah, I can take that. Personally, if you are experiencing hardware issues, please get in touch with our support. Make sure that we'll keep an eye out for anything that comes through on that front. You shouldn't be having issues with the hardware, so we want to get to the bottom of that. Presently, we don't have specific plans for iOS. We do have an Android app that's sort of beta, so there's some potential there that might be developing that. Really focusing though on Windows and bright sign players as kind of the primary deployment options. So please, again, by all means, get in touch with support with your account manager. We can sort of parse through those issues and help you identify kind of the best path forward.
Perfect. Thank you. Another question that I think I saw quite a few reactions to, meaning I think there are quite a few people who maybe felt that is there a basic webinar on navigating the website that shows how to utilize the features, or where could they go to look for that help if there isn't a webinar?
I can go ahead and take that one.
I think we were all leaning on you to take it.
So there's a couple different things we have out there currently. So either within the support tab, there is a training tab where it has videos and written documentation. Written documentation is one thing that we've actually added over the last year within there. There are videos on our website as well. What I always recommend to clients, if they are brand new to our system or they have new users, maybe they added in, I would reach out to your account manager or even just submit a support ticket if you don't know who your account manager is, to set up a training. And those account managers can actually record the training for you so you can have it to reference. Additionally, what Nate had mentioned, one of the things Pendo, it's more kind of like an in-app messaging that's something that is on our roadmap coming, that we are adding as well as a training tool.
I would add one other thing, just so everybody on the webinar knows, and we appreciate you guys all coming on today. Everyone has an account manager at Reach. Every client, no matter the size, big or small, has an account manager they can reach out to ask questions. If they're having issues, anything that's sort of out there, feel free to ping them. If you don't know who it is, just type in info@reachmedianetwork.com and we'll get you the right person. But I just want to reiterate that you have support here, and a lot of support between our support team, account managers, the creative, the install coordinators. We're all here to support you. So just anything you need, just let us know.
One last note on the tutorials and whatnot is we will be integrating onboarding tooling into the CMS as a part of the rewrite. So there will be sort of in-stream instructions, that you can access. So to make that training and whatnot a little bit more accessible.
Perfect. This question came, I think, during Kirsten's video. How can they add stocks to their screen?
Yeah, so basically what we need to know is the stock symbols that you're looking to add. Basically, we'll just create a stock feed. It's no additional cost to you guys. Just let your account manager know and or submit a support ticket. Basically, we just generate a URL and we use the ticker app to input for the stock ticker.
Perfect. Then there was a question about folders being in the media library, if that was something that is coming, and if it's not happening soon, if we have sort of best practices to suggest for organizing those files.
Yeah, I can take that. Firstly, a little issue with pre-release teasers is that we're actually calling them albums. So and that will be a part of the CMS rewrite. So we felt that the term or the vernacular folder comes with some metaphorical attribution that is going to confuse folks in terms of, can an asset be a multiple folder, so on and so forth. So we decided to rebrand that albums. Technically, the albums just use our tagging functionality under the hood, and that functionality already exists in the system. So I would definitely take a look at that. You can certainly reach out to support, get a training on how to use that. However, I think that would be a really effective mechanism today where you can tag assets and then filter by tags.
One thing we all loved, and just on a side note, we have an Alex on our team and he does a great job doing account management. When the question actually popped up, and we're on a separate chat here so we can sort of field thing, it popped up and it just said Alex and it said something about the folders. And we all said, what? Our own Alex is asking this question. He doesn't know we have folders and tags. So Alex, you're certainly not, it was a great question because it really sparked a lot of quick. We got to train this guy. So all good.
I was like, oh, wow, okay, I like his style, kind of sliding in the questions. To capitalize on what Nate said too, yes, definitely use tags. Some people too, it's the way they name their assets. So, and I can give you examples of that too, if you just email at info, at reachmedianetwork.com. You remember that, right? I said that really fast. But sometimes when people are uploading content, it's just like a naming convention. And I've got some really good examples of clients of how they do it. So that also might just kind of help you keep your, your stuff organized.
Perfect. I think just a couple more. One, I think, was asking if we are going to consider having a dark mode to the CMS. I just saw dark mode question mark, so I assume that's what you were asking, but.
Yep, I'd be happy to field that. So we haven't discussed it specifically. That said, with the rewrite to React would make something like dark mode substantially easier to implement. So it's definitely, if that's an important feature request, make sure you get in touch with your account manager and we'll get that prioritized. Particularly with the rewrite, that's going to be a much more feasible thing to do.
Perfect. And then I think the last one that came is, will Reach support the new BrightSign XC5?
Yep, I can take that one too. So the short answer is yes, probably. We haven't done any real world testing with it yet, but the intention would be to support that. In fact, I have a meeting with Brightsign in 1 hour here this afternoon to go through that and start parsing through the details of that implementation. But yes, we do. The intention would be to support that platform.
That's all the
right.
questions.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you off.
you're fine. I was just gonna say, that's all the questions. I know Michelle mentioned that you can email any others to marketing@Reach Media Network, and we can address them from there.
Yeah, and thanks again, everyone, for jumping on and joining us. We really appreciate it, of course, and we appreciate your guys' partnership. So yeah, any questions you guys may have, again, email, account manager support, a lot of ways to get a hold of us. Have a great day, have a great week, and we'll be in touch.
Oh, one other thing, if you guys have any, I'll just say this one last thing because we are in the learning mode and it made me think about it. Sorry, Michelle, to cut you off.
I just ended it.
I always want to know that we want to get your feedback as well. This is our first live webinar, and as I mentioned, 17 years, and it's something we're trying to do to do a better job of communicating with our clients. So any feedback you have about the webinar, what you'd like to see or didn't see, we'll probably be doing more of these as well in the future, especially as the CMS gets closer and closer, we can share that. And so I would definitely encourage you to send it into marketing@reachmedianetwork.com. We'll take that feedback. We love feedback, and we appreciate you guys obviously being on the call today.